Why doesn't Superman need a boss? He already has supervision. Welcome to Cover By, a very exciting edition today as it's our 1-year anniversary. Wow, I can't believe we've been doing Cover By a year already. Thank you so much for your support and all your fun and encouraging comments about the show. I always appreciate that. Of course, I couldn't do this without Cookie from Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas. They're standing by for a special edition of Cover By today. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to their YouTube channels, I put the link to the channels in the description for this video. Also, don't forget to sub my channel up already if you haven't, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be informed of new content that's added. Our very first Cover By 1 year ago was Superman and Wonder Woman. Now today, in a little bit of an homage to that, we have a very special book that we're going to dissect between the A and the B cover. It's Man of Steel, issue number 1. Pretty vintage, huh? From 1986, this is believed to be the very first variant cover ever created for a comic book. That's cool in itself. I remember as a childhood collector, the news that there was actually going to be 2 different covers that you could pick from. That was big news back in the day. So between me and Cookie and Thomas, we're going to dissect which is the better one, the A or the B cover, in today's 1-year anniversary video of Cover By. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started with first thought comments today from Cookie from Just a Little Podcast.
What's going on, guys? We actually made it to 1 year. That's a 1 year celebration of doing Cover By. These gentlemen have been awesome, amazing dudes to go and actually do this stuff with. I enjoy it each and every single time we get a chance to get in front of the camera and talk about comics. It's a wonderful opportunity. And this week is no different because we're covering Man of Steel, Volume 1, Issue 1. Now, I've never read this book, but it definitely looks like it comes from the 80s based off of the covers. They have this paper quality just in these images, and you can tell right off the bat. But let's go with cover A. So cover A, we have Man of Steel, we have the comic event of the century, and we have, of course, Clark Kent pulling out his shirt so he can go and reveal the S on his chest. And we're also getting the ship flying away, and this green planet, which I'm assuming has to be Krypton. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it is definitely, it screams 80s quite a bit. And it's enjoyable. It's a nice, cool cover. Can't go wrong with a classic cover like this. It would have been nice to kind of see Superman with his glasses on. That would have been a little bit more interesting to go and have that on there. Overall, it's a nice 80s cover. That's honestly it. And then we got cover B. So cover B, same thing, Man of Steel at the top in these bold block letters. Special collector's edition. This is a 75-cent cover, and it's a 6-part miniseries. So this image, we kind of have more of a close-up on the Man of Steel pulling out his S in his chest. I dig it quite a bit. I like this one as well. I like the fact that we are getting this interesting style of shadowing that's around the fingers, his tie floating off in the wind. It's a really cool concept. We have his very famous like jawline and chin coming in there. I dig this one as well. The Legend Begins. So these 2 covers are going to be really nice, man. I really dig both these covers, and yeah, they're interesting.
Okay, thanks, Cookie. Let's now yield to Comics from Thomas for his first thought comments on this issue.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cover By. We are into July and we are at our 1-year anniversary. So thank you so much everybody for taking a look at these videos. Thank you Ryan for setting it up, and thank you Cookie for just being awesome, the person that you are always. So for July, and I've got a friend here that is all over me tonight. So for July, we are looking at Man of Steel 1A, obviously the A covers. So it looks like from the notes here, this is believed to be the first ever variant cover to a comic book. I don't know what year this is, though. So at first when I saw this cover, I was like, I don't know, it's kind of like a plain Jane, but I do like the odd-looking spaceship that's coming out of the green world there, which I assume is Krypton, and that's Superman being shot into space to head to Earth. So I do like this cover. I love his his ugly green brown like corduroy 1981 pants. Amazing. His whole getup really is just fantastic. So I don't have a lot that I can actually say about this book, so I might be just rambling a bit. But overall, you know what? The cover, not too bad. Taking a look at the B cover, I do not enjoy a lot from this cover. I find that the color scheme just makes it look kind of older, but not in a good way. I'm not crapping on this book. I like the idea, obviously, of him pulling the shirt out to get the Superman symbol underneath, but there's something very, very just plain Jane about this cover. So.
Thanks, Thomas, for your first thought comments. Man of Steel was a 6-issue limited series that reintroduced Superman in the DC Universe after the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it was done by John Byrne. Only issue number 1 had a variant cover, and as I said at the beginning of the show, it was a huge deal among collectors and something that they talked about, that, you mean I could choose this cover or both? That had just never happened before. Who would have thought that decades later it would be such a common practice among collecting that you wouldn't even give it a second thought? But back then, that was newsworthy. So looking at cover A, this follows the format that all of the covers of the 6-issue limited series would follow. You have your main character, in this case it's Clark Kent, and he's ripping open the shirt to reveal the S, standing behind a panel of some type of an action sequence. Here it's his origin. You see Krypton exploding, you see the rocket flying out. I mean, people that don't even collect comic books can look at this and go, that's his origin. That's how he came to be. They just know that. So it's true to the folklore. Then we look at cover B. Now here we also have Clark ripping open the shirt, revealing the Superman logo, but I also want to say, I don't remember in the Copper Age or Bronze Age or earlier, really any other covers that showed such a close-up depiction of a character. That's something else that's kind of become commonplace too, but it wasn't common back then to not see the character's face or their full body or something like that. That was a little bit unusual too, so that creative art style had something going for it too. Now we have 2 totally different trade dresses here among the 2 of them to choose from, which is also a little bit unique and a little bit different as well. So that's what we have to work with in today's cover by video. The A cover or the B cover, which one is it going to be? I know which one I'm going to go with, but we'll check in right now with Cookie from Just a Little Podcast for his pick.
All right, so I am going to go with cover A. I think cover A does it. It just has a little bit more going on for it. I know a lot of times I say less is more, but for this one, I think I just like this a little bit better. It kind of reveals a little bit more of what's potentially going to happen inside this book and throughout the series. Yeah, I dig it. I do like it a lot. I am not too crazy on the style of the way they put Man of Steel. I wish they would have taken it from the cover B and had this one on there. Nevertheless, I do enjoy this quite a bit, and I like it a lot. So cover A is my pick.
Okay, Cookie says it's the A cover. Thomas, what do you think?
So obviously I am going to be going with cover A. It did a lot more for me. I really couldn't say anything about cover B. It was not there for me. Very, very easy pick. Cover A.
Thomas says it's the A cover as well, and I agree with both of them. It's the A cover for me. Sorry, cover B. Bye. Cover A is our winner today. For me, the reason that I chose that, I like the format that they established with just the single character and an action panel behind them. Now, in future issues of this, it might be Lois Lane as that featured character, or it might be Lex Luthor, or it might be Batman, all with a panel behind them. I just thought that was kind of a unique look to itself. Don't get me wrong, it was cool to have that variant cover and such a close-up, which, like I said, I think was groundbreaking just from an artistic sense too. That was cool, but overall, I just like the A cover more. It really lets you know what you're getting with this issue. It's the origin of Superman. We're starting over here, and that expresses it very well. Although, like I said, just seeing that S, though, says, it's Superman. You know that. I also kind of like the trade dress on cover A a little bit better, too, which is another reason why I went for that. It's just a little bit different and a little bit more unique. So that's why I decided to go with A. My co-hosts agree with me, A all the way. But do you agree with us? That's what I want to know, so leave your comment below. Your comments are always welcomed, encouraged, and appreciated. Thanks for making it to the end of this cover by. There's a new Thor movie. So we're going to do a Thor cover by themed video next time. Join us in 2 weeks. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Make it a super day.